Hello, welcome back. Last time I finished a row and was reminded once again about the hazards of misreading. For today, let's do a thing. There's a Puzzle 2 music that I have yet to hear naturally here. So let's do it unnaturally, and just see how that is. I could open up one of the B-side things and see if it just gives it to me. But for today, I'm just gonna put it on as it is. 31. I wonder if the B-side's a totally different puzzle format or something. I don't know. Anyway, so, narrow 1. That's a 7. Alright, so watch for the highlight. That is actually 7 wide. I did not misread that, at least. Okay, so that gives me some 1s at the ends. Gives me a 5 here, and that 5 fits exactly. Okay. These have just the amount of wiggle room for that. So if I know those things, I also know a 1 here. So I know that much. Yeah, so that extra 1 in this column reduces the wiggle room by 2, so I know these. Okay. I know that's a 2. Okay, and that fills this row. I know that's a 1, I know that's a 2. 1. The wiggle room here is such that I can do this, so it's only 1. That row's done. That row's done. That row's done. This one ought to be pretty quick, it looks like. Unless I've made some mistakes, which happens more often than I might like. Okay, so there's one more 1, can only fit there. That's that 5. I'm kind of expecting this to just say, hey, you're done, at any moment, right about now. What is that, sideways shopping cart? No, it's a cash register. Shopping cart looks like that. It's has the same pattern of dots on it. Anyway, 32. 0. Really? Okay. Then why even include it? I wonder if there is a reason for that. Why would you include a 0 row? Anyway, I think 14 is full width of that. For a brief moment the sound was not just in my right ear, but now it is again. How sad. 12, 14, we will remove 2, subtract 2 from that and fill this in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just gonna check my work real quick. Alright, 3 is at the bottom. All of those. Okay. Right, so I'm thinking a technique that would speed me up is to interact with, after I do something in a row, look at the columns that affected and see if there's anything more I can do in those, rather than, what I had been doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so sure, I affected these columns. These are all 1s. Okay. And if that's a 3, then that's little enough wiggle room that that must be true. Those are 2s, so I can do this. Okay. So I just affected this row is done. Yeah, so instead of just, going back and forth, up and down all the time. Okay, I know that's a 1. I don't know that for this one yet. 1 space, 1 space, 1. Yeah, there's plenty of room for it to be something else. Well, is there? Yeah, there is. Okay. Okay, so I think I reached the end of that line of reasoning, though. There's a 3 here and a 1 and a 2. 3 and a bunch of 1s. 2 1s, 2 1s. A 1 somewhere. A 3. And a 3. Great, okay. So now I know this 3, and I know that 3. 1 space, 1 space, 1 can only fit like that. Do I know for sure that these are the 2s? I suspect they are. If this was the first 2... No, those have to be the 2s. Well, hang on. If this was the second 2... 1, 2, space. Yeah, no, they can only fit if these are both the 2s. Do I know any of the ones? I know these. Still pondering why you would include a blank row. Like, what does that do for anything? Like, a 0 row just reduces the size of the puzzle by 1. So yeah, that is kind of weird. It seems like this could be trimmed out without losing anything. Anyway. Okay, so, right, I affected this column, that must be the 1. Same for you. And still not constrained enough to know anything more yet. There's a 1 somewhere in here. This column's done. This one is 2, and this, whoops, is not. I misread which column I was in. However, I know that's a 1, and I know there's a 1 here, so now it's done. Don't know what I'm looking at. I affected this row. That's a 1, there's a 2 in here somewhere, those are both 1s, so that's pretty close. Only one of these is a 1, interesting. There are 2 1s in here and I don't know where. By the way, that has to be a 1, this has to be a 4, which means this. Otherwise, I still don't have any more definite knowledge. That's a 1. There's one somewhere in here. Okay, I know this because there has to be a 1 here, but there isn't room for 2, so that has to be there. If there are 3 1s, then they have to be exactly like this. Okay. You cannot be logicked the same way. Unless I knew what this was, which I don't yet. Okay. So, 4, the 3, the 1... I know that's a 1, sure. Okay, so I put down an X. Does that help with this? Not yet. Okay, so where can I do anything right now? Well, I think I do know the right side of this. Because only 2 1s can fit over here, and 2 1s can only fit exactly like this over here. So that X's this out, because the 4 can't do that. Also, that 2 was already telling me that, which I didn't notice in that row. I need another 1, and I guess it's here. And I guess that's my 4. Okay. Alright, so here, still a mystery 1. Here, 2 mystery 1s. Here, 2 mystery 1s. 8 has another thing on it. That's a 1 in this column, and there's another in there somewhere. Wait, if the 8 goes there... What did I just do? I made an incorrect conclusion. Why was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I fill this in another way? I filled that in another way. Right, so this is still as good as it can get. Is that true, though? If I know this is filled and it's part of the 8, then those 1s can only go like that. And the 8 can only go like this. Yes. Okay, there we go. Except something's wrong. Okay, what did I do? Okay, hang on. So all of those things were fine as far as I know. But here in this column I have... Okay, so if I solve this column this way... Does that 8 resolve? No, that's 9 now. How did I know this? When did I mark those things? So I marked this because that was the only way those 1s could fit. I don't have a redo button, unfortunately. I don't know how far back it was that I marked this. Hang on. 118. Oh, I marked this 8 as though it was alone and didn't have any 1s with it, didn't I? No, not exactly. 1 space, 1 space... 1, 2, 3, 4... Well, anyway, this column's resolved, but did I do it right? Well, you know what? I have too much uncertainty. Time to start over. Oh boy. I do not know where my error was. But it was far enough back that I couldn't do anything about it. Alright, that's fine. Just get my process straight here. Okay, so what were the easy conclusions I could make? Alright, so 1 space 1 space 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And that's all I know there. Did I initially mark these two? I may have centered that 8 wrong, and that was the source of my cascading failures. I think that's exactly what it was, wasn't it? If only I could do these things not first. Okay, so yeah, since that was uncertainty, I don't know about anything else anywhere. Okay, so then... Space 1 2 3 space 1 space 1 space 1. Too much wiggle room to do anything. 1 space 1 space 1 2 space 1 2 space 1 space 1. If there's only a wiggle room of 1, then I know where the 2's are. Or half of them at least. Space 1 space 1 2 space 1 2 space 1 space 1. Yes, okay. 1 space 1 space 1 2 3 space 1 space 1 2 wiggle room of 3, which does mean I know one of the cells of the 3. So 1 space 1 space 1 2 3. Skip 2 for the third one. Okay. Oh right, and the 0 row. Okay, so what did these tell me column-wise? Well, that starts with a 3, so this cannot be the 1. Doesn't tell me anything more, though. This is a 2, which tells me... 2s can only fit like this, so that has to be. There's a 3 here, so that must be true. That's a 1, so this is done. And this is already a different shape, isn't it? I'm not sure I know that yet. Okay, so I interacted with this row, that one is now filled. Interacted with this row. One space 1 2 3. I know this because I know that's the 3, because it can't fit otherwise. Right? 1 2 space 1 space 1 2 3. Yeah, so I know that at least. The 1 and the 2 are in here, which means I know this segment of the 2. Okay. If I know that's a 2, right, there were fitting rules about this. The second 2 cannot be over here, so it's this one, and these fit exactly. There we go, okay. This is a 1. Okay, so I interacted with this column, that's done. This column can only be like that. Okay, this does look pretty similar to what I drew before. But hopefully minus the error that messed me up. So having interacted with that row, I know that's a 1, yes. Having interacted with that row, I know that's the 3, and there are 1s in there. This is the 3. Okay, this column, don't know anything more. This column, don't know anything more. Right? Yes, I do. Only 2 1s can fit in these 4 spaces, so one of them is here. Can I make the same conclusion here? Yes. Because this is just as good as an X, sort of. It's either filled or... not filled. Well, because this is set down, there has to be a boundary here between these two, so then start counting 1 space 1 space, no room for another one, so it has to go there. Okay. A little different from the logic I usually use, but it applies the same way. Okay, there's a 1 somewhere in here. 1 space 1, exact fit. Alright, so interacted with these columns, that one's done. This one needs 2 more that can only fit exactly. This is that, that's exact, this is that. Don't know anything more. This is 4, so I do that. The rest of these could be anything. Yeah, so I did not have this 8 in that position. I think I just centered it and that was my main mistake. Still no knowledge there. This is a 1, by the way. Still not constrained enough in this column to know anything. And rows have not been helped at all. Alright, so this is a 1. That last one's a 3. There's a 2 in between somewhere. Do I know this? 1, 1, 2, space, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2. I do. Okay, so that helps that row. And I know this because otherwise you couldn't be joined with the 3. Alright, and that's helped my 12. Looking better. And that's helped this row. So then that's my 3 done. That's a 2, that's that column done. That's a 1 in this row. Yeah, so a lot more row column switching now with this new strategy. Right, and now I know nothing in particular here yet. Yeah, nothing in particular here yet, right? Yeah, of the unfilled ones, I can't be sure of any of them. Okay. Alright, so columns again. You need 1 more and it's there. That gives you this row, great. That gives you your 1, doesn't help this column. You need 2 more ones, which can only fit like that. Alright, so this row is done. This row is helped because I know this, because both of those can only have 1 1 in them. That's your 1, that's capped the 8 better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so still some uncertainty on that 8, but at least I know the 1. That 12 can be finished, which means this 3 is done, and that 1 was already there. This 3 is done, that caps the 8, and constrains the 4 further, finishing this row, which I could have done another way. Okay. And this is the last one. Okay, what have I drawn? What is that? Ah, it's a planter with flowers in it. Okay. Could not tell. Alright, 33. 16 by 16. Okay. Just 1 in this column, just 2 in this row, so finishing either of those, getting 1 in either of those would give me a lot. 3 space, 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, I did what I wanted. Okay. And I know these things. Whoops. Alright, anything else in particular that I know? This. And that. We may have symmetry. It does kinda look like it. Alright, I'm looking at both rows and columns at the same time. Well, I guess I'm just looking at columns now. 3, 3, 1. Can I do anything with this? I believe so. 1 space, 1, 2, 3. And that can't be a space. Well, at the very least I know these, right? Because this only has a wiggle room of 1, right? 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2. 9. No. Wait. What? Why do I know these things? I don't know, I just do. I can't explain the logic, but I'm pretty sure it adds up. I think these are correct. You know what? Fine. Alright, let's undo this. Let's see if I can do better. I know this is filled. I know this is not the one because 2 3s cannot fit north of it. So the 1 is somewhere down here. The 3 comes down at most to here. But then why would I know this? I think I don't know that. That was my spurious conclusion, and that's why I was suspicious of this. But here is a 5 space that must fit a 3 in it. And also this is invalid for being a member of the 3, so it's actually a 4 space. Yeah, so there's like a little zone of exclusion here next to a filled cell which is known to be part of a run that is not the one I'm looking at. So like this extends out one further than otherwise. Even though it's still indeterminate, because it could be this or it could be this, but it's one of those two. Okay. Alright, having placed those down, I know some things about this 3. And what about this row? This can only fit one way. And that was true before I put that down. Okay, so what's that helped with? I know that's 2 can't go there, and it has gone there. So that's a 1. And again, we seem to have symmetry. This 2 tells me that, so does that one. And this. Okay, cool. This entire row is still indeterminate. Same for you. Is there vertical symmetry? No. Horizontal only. Okay, horizontal symmetry, vertical asymmetry. Alright, what can I work on right now? This is a 3, don't know anything more. 2, 1, don't know anything about the 2. Don't know anything about the 2. That could be the first one, as far as I know. Now, hang on. By the same zone of exclusion rule, I know this is filled. I know that's filled because of what's up here. Because, yeah, there's no way for 3 to extend from here upward because it would collide with the other 3. Okay, so I know that. Cool. This is... yeah, there's no room for 2 1s above this since that's X'd out. So... ah! What am I saying? Yeah, because only 1 1 can go here, and if 1 was here, the 2 wouldn't fit. Therefore, this is a 1, right? Yeah, because it can't be the 2, and the 2 is below. Alright, horizontal symmetry, same logic here. That's confusing, but it makes sense, I think. Anyway, so this is constrained enough. Great. Now I've interacted with this, which means... wait, no it doesn't. Watch out. It means this. That's the marking I wanted. Alright, those are 2s, therefore these are x's. Okay, cool. Putting an X there means I know this 3, and this 3 is actually done. Still a 1 there somewhere. Okay. That 1 is finished. This was a weird asymmetry. It was something I just forgot to fill in right here. Okay. I know this now, right? No, I don't know that's the second one. It could be the first. There's room for the other one to be down there. Okay, so, other things I can do. Now I can put these down, because this X is here, that helped me. Which means these are X's, because I have both of those 2's allocated, which means the 3 goes here. Okay, so I've interacted with these columns, that's... I still don't know for sure. It could be 2 there and a 1 up here, or 2 down here and a 1 there. This, however, is done. Okay, so that's let me put those down, because those 2's have an X in the middle. These columns now have those 2's, great, and that has constrained this row. Yeah, all of this would be much slower if I were just reading through rows and columns one by one each time. So 3's are done. With those X's placed, that constrains these 2's. With those 2 placed, those 2's are done. This is a 3 now, that has allocated the 1s, which means there's nothing here, which means there's something here. Yeah, okay, this is like built around that technique. Whole thing is just made to work that way. Alright, those are 2s. Very near vertical symmetry, it looks like. Pretty close. That's like the end of the mace. Yeah, that's the end of the mace. Okay. Alright, 34. Let's do it. It's a big one. Oh boy. Have I made a mistake? Let's hope not. C0 in the middle makes sense. But at an edge, it doesn't to me. Alright, 8, 12, 4... That. Hopefully that made sense. I said some numbers and then put something down. That's a 6, not a... Ah! Okay, you go away. 6 means I know nothing. 1, 2, 3, space 1, space 1, space 1, 2, 3. Wiggle and move 1, so I know those. 3, 8. 4, 6, 8. Alright, so this is the 1, that's the 3. So I know all of those things, and once again we appear to have horizontal symmetry. Okay, that's a 3, so I know that. Same for you. Now 6 is constrained enough to put something down. That much. 8 is constrained enough to be done. This one's not yet. This one is, though. If we have horizontal symmetry, I will not make the assumption, but if we do, then I would know what this was. Just because it looks like it doesn't mean I can... I could probably, like, look at the... Yeah, so if I look at the columns, this is 3, 2, 2. The equivalent over here is... Yeah, no, there's definitely a horizontal asymmetry here. Like, looking at these sections, those are not the same. So do not make any false conclusions. I know that's the 2, because the 3 couldn't have fit. And I know that's the 3, because it has to go there. And that's already the 1. And 3 can't stretch all the way down there. Okay, I interacted with this, that 4, those can't fit, those can't fit. 4 tells me this. It does. 6 is already exact. Okay, if those are 3s, then that's true. In this row, not the same. Okay, I've interacted with this column. 3, 2, 5. So this is the 5 then. This also has a 5 at the end of it. And that must be the 3. This must be the 5. And that fits. That's an exact fit, by the way. Okay. This is a wizard. Okay, I see what I'm drawing. 3, 2, 2. Yep, that's the 3. I think I can do this. That's asymmetric, but I still know that's the top one. I don't know about this one yet. Okay, where am I? Anywhere. There's no prescribed direction to this, just whatever you can get done, just do it. There's a 2 somewhere in here, that's all I know. There's 3, that's as much as I know, that's as much as I know, that's as much as I know. That's done. This 4 can be finished, and the column's done. This 5 can be finished, and the column's done. This row can be finished, this row is finished. Okay. The hat tilts to the side. Yeah, because of the amount of space, I know those are the 1s, and those are filled. 3, 1, 1, 3, that's not an exact fit, but when I know the center, it's good enough. Not good enough for these. Okay. 2 means that, same here. 3 is done, 3 is done. Don't know yet, can only fit like that. Same deal. Okay, now what? That 3 is done. So this is a 2. On this row, those are 2s. So those are the 3s, and that's how the 8 goes. There we go. Okay. Wizard has been assembled. Alright, that all went fine. Asterisk. Good enough. I got 4 done. I will take my victory. Alright, next time 35. I'll see you then.